Hello, everyone. I'm Drew.
I'm Elijah.
And I'm Harper.
Welcome back to my Father of Arrows YouTube channel. Today I'm recording on a cell phone, so you can see the ring light glare. This is very unprofessional, but I'm recording it because there's a bit of a sense of urgency, because today we received in the mail the NIV Proclamation Edition by R.L. Allan. And I suppose one of the perks of living in England is that I got the shipping notification and then it was here the next day. So a lot of my lovely friends in the States are asking questions about the size of this Bible and some specs. And so, yeah, I just thought that I'd show you really quickly and make this really fast. But first of all, look at the amazing grain on this Highland goat skin. It's gorgeous. You can see that there is a tooled line, double tooled line, and there are also double tooled lines here. The corners are awesome. Charfleet did a great job. One of the biggest changes in this edition is that the text is a 10-point font. So I believe it was a 9-point font before, or somewhere around there, and it's 10 points now, and it's also on a 40 GSM paper. This is printed and bound in England. Charfleet does this amazing little spine thing where it's super flexible, and I love that. It's like a cool party trick. And yeah, this is the gold under red black Highland goatskin edition, the only edition that was available for a short time. But I believe they're making more. They'll have more options in November, so it's important for you to see this now. The biggest questions are around the size of this. I think the specs, you can correct me, you can view it on Allan's website, but I believe that the pages are about 9 1/4 by 6 1/4 by 2 inches on the spine. 2 inches on the spine is a lot. I have pretty large hands, so this doesn't feel like massive to me. If you want to show the NRSV, this is the Allan NRSV that came out recently, the navy blue speckled, and then I'll show you just the size. So this is not a full yet. It's generous, but not full. And so if you look at the size of the two Bibles, they look very different. But that's partially because the full yap actually adds quite a bit. So if we look at the text blocks, you can see that they're actually not very different. I mean, the NIV is a bit bigger, a bit taller, and then it's a little bit wider. Oops, I can line them up. That's about right. So it's a little bit wider, not a ton. And then, yeah, the spine, 2 inches, and I think this is 1 3/4 inches, but it doesn't feel very different in your hands. The NRSV feels smaller when you're holding it, but their sizes really aren't that different. I'll show you, if you, Harper, my lovely Harper too. This is my first Allan. This is the ESV New Classic Reader 2011 edition. So it's a bit thinner than the current version. So I'm telling you that because these are just about an identical text block. So you can see that they're about the same there. And then even the width of them is very, very similar. The biggest difference obviously is going to be the spine, where the proclamation is about 1.5 times bigger than the ESV. But yeah, if you have a New Classic Reader ESV and you're holding that, just imagine it's that but thicker. That's probably the most helpful. Yeah. And then finally, we have this NIV1 in this bright green color, which is going to be Harper's one day, probably, most likely. Yeah, she loves green. Now, there's a huge size difference in these because the NIV1 is kind of like the personal size version of the proclamation. It's the same It's the same text block minus the fact that the proclamation has a bunch of amazing articles and book intros, which it's fascinating because this is considered a study Bible, but it's not like a typical study Bible where you've got notes kind of in the text. It's actually just got book introductions. One of them is from one of my favorite theologians who's here in England, named Christopher Wright. He does the Deuteronomy introduction, and it's just awesome. So they've got in-depth introductions and a lot of helpful resources, but the text itself, so the NIV one is not going to have the same pagination because of those book introductions. So I'm going to just find a passage here. We'll go to Matthew 13 because it's just what I opened there. So on the proclamation, Matthew 13 is page 1064. And in the NIV 1, it's page 980. So that the NIV 1 is printed on a 30 GSM paper, not 36 now, and it's quite noticeable. It's very thin paper, so the difference is pretty dramatic in the paper quality, the bleed. Like, I hadn't really thought through this, but so if you could see, like, this is the 10-point font version here in the Black Proclamation, and this is the 8.5-point font maybe in the NIV 1. Oh yeah, I could just use a helper. Thank you, that's great. Yeah, so you can see the page numbers are different, but the block is going to be, the text block is going to be exactly the same. So like I plan to, I can't find it at the moment because I think it's in my backpack, but I have a red NIV 1 from a few years ago, and that's kind of like a carry around every day and like really good to preach out of. I don't know that I will preach out of this only because it's like the pulpit that we use at church is pretty small, but I will definitely, I don't know, I will definitely be studying out of this, and the margins are awesome. Yeah, just really great. Sorry for blabbing on, but yeah, really excited about this Bible, and hopefully in November when they release a new batch and they've got speckled art gilding, like I'm imagining that this colorway will be one of them, which is navy, and it's got speckled. I haven't used this yet, so it's still got tucked in ribbons and everything, but it's got really nice red ribbons and it's navy. So yeah, they'll make one like that and some other colors as well. So yeah, if you have a proclamation coming, that's what you can expect. Hopefully this is helpful. God bless you all. If you like Bible reviews, occasionally I do them, and so you can like this video and subscribe to it if you want. Thumbs up it. God bless you guys. Bye.